So, friends, here we are back in the Hall of Mars, and we just looked at the reproduction of the crown of King Charles III, and this was the last antechamber before the throne room, and this is where we're going to go next. So, the real seat of power, the representation of the king's power and majesty, would have been right through here. So, after all of these antechambers and various reception areas and places where people would uh, attend and socialize and do business, then we enter the throne room. And you can see right away that this room is vastly larger than most of the rest. It has the same height and an incredible vault, all gold, all gold, all gold, with an incredible painting up above. And that painting represents the opening of this castle, the dedication of the castle, uh, when it was presented formally to the king back in the mid 1700s as the work of the architect Van Vitelli, who is quite famous because of this incredible work. So we're going to walk up more closely. And I think I would call to your attention this amazing change in the furniture. Not so much the form of it, although the thrones up at the front do have a very interesting form that is quite unusual, but it's the color of the fabric. It is this pale, almost sky blue, but pale. A lot of the fabrics on the other furniture have been red or other colors. For the first time, we're seeing this amazing, beautiful blue in here. It's quite striking, and you notice it right away. It's very soft, it's exquisite, and these benches would have been obviously for people to sit down while the king was present, and presumably the queen and other courtiers as well. But here we are in this unbelievable throne room, and it is flanked by windows that face the front where I came in. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows right along the side. Again, very, very formal. And windows up above again, up there. And again, the ceiling up above, as you can see. And then down the front with an enormous representation there of the seat of power, all of the royal crests and shields, flags, noble figures, all in gold leaf. And as we go forward, we're going to see the one piece of furniture in this room which is different than all the rest, and that would be the throne. I'd like you to take a careful look at it because it's maybe not what you would expect. There is an odd kind of modernity about it. It's rounded, it's oval, it's soft, it looks comfortable. It almost looks like a chair, I mean, except for maybe the arms there, which happen to be winged lions, but it almost looks like a lounge chair. I'm quite struck by it. It's really very, very interesting. Everything else in the room, vis-a-vis furniture, are these stools to sit on and some small banquettes. That's it. Other than that, one would have stood in the presence of the king. I think the only people that would have been allowed to sit down would have been people of high rank and distinction. You simply did not sit in the presence of the king. You either stood, occasionally you might kneel down too, uh, but here is where the king would sit and literally hold court. Isn't that amazing? All right. So on we go. I'm going to walk through to the next room, and then we'll cut the video and pick it up again in part. By this time, I'm not sure what part we're in, but there are many, many parts. So this was a salon just behind the throne room, which we just walked out of. This would have been the room where the king would have consulted his advisors. So the way I picture it, he would be in consultation with his advisors, and then when decisions had been made and were ready to be announced, he would simply step through the doors behind and walk into the throne room and take his place and do the business of the king. But here is where a lot of the back room business got done, and a lot of it got done around that table right there, which is an unbelievably elaborate table, just extremely detailed. Take a look at that. It's also quite high. If I were to step up to that table, it would be well above my waist. So it's not the normal height of a table that you would sit at and dine at. It's a table you would stand at and around. Perhaps if you were putting down maps and documents to be read and shared by your helpers, your associates. But the work of it is phenomenal, just phenomenal. Very, very large couches and other elaborate furniture in the room. All right. As we get ready to go through some of the other rooms in the palace, we're going to take a little bit of a break. Uh, just inviting you to keep enjoying as much as you can, as much as you wish, the treasures of the Royal Palace of Caserta.